Before the quote-unquote console war took off between Nintendo and Sega in the 16-bit generation, we caught a glimpse of what that battle would become during the 8-bit generation. Nintendo had their entertainment system with a classic design and classic games, while Sega had their Master System with a sleek design and a few ways to play games, though not many were as memorable in comparison. But during times of war, both tried to innovate and on the rare occasion, duplicate. In Sega's case, they took a quick look at the NES's light gun and made their own. This is the Sega Light Phaser, a light gun accessory for the Sega Master System. Obviously, I'm gonna have to compare this with the NES equivalent, as they both use the same technology on the inside, but on the outside, they're almost completely different. Before Sega could do what Nintendo didn't, they had to start off being a copycat. For comparison's sake, let's get a closer look at the two light guns. The NES Zapper can be either gray or orange, and both complement the system it belongs to. The Sega Light Phaser does the same with the Master System, keeping the slick black look with a hint of red at the logo. Both were designed with their system in mind, but perhaps the little design tweaks will make the Light Phaser stand out better. It already looks more futuristic than the Zapper in my opinion, but it definitely wouldn't be safer to take one outside like it would be for an orange Zapper. We'll start this closer inspection at the handle, which is straight and thinner than the Zapper, which is angled and a little fatter as a result. The trigger is the most interesting as it doesn't go all the way back with a spring-loaded sound, instead going at a downward angle like an actual gun might do. The cord and logos are in the exact same places, while screws are in different places for obvious reasons, I'm sure. Another noticeable difference is the serial number. All Nintendo had was the model number on their light gun. I mean, come on. Up top, we have the two sights, which is almost the same as the Zappers. The difference this time is the back sight is much longer than the Zappers, and the front sight is reversed around. The barrel of the light guns is also differently angled, with the Light Phaser looking more in place with other futuristic toy guns of the era. But the most out of place thing is this circular piece here. I'm guessing it's an extra measure for disassembly, but it looks more like a button if you didn't know any better. Well, that's all there is to the Light Phaser itself, except we haven't looked at it in operation, so let's pop a game in and see what it can do. This light gun can play about 10 or so games that are compatible with it. I right now have only 2, which is nearly a sixth of the library. I've always been a fan of light gun games, and Sega has a few goodies like Safari Hunt, which can be looked at as a graphically better but less remembered take on Duck Hunt. They also had others like Missile Defense 3D, which also uses another peripheral that we'll have a look at a little later in the season. If the 3D in the name of that game didn't give it away, you clearly don't know your history. The Light Phaser was an obvious attempt to see if Sega could swipe over those that liked their games with a gun over to the Master System. Wouldn't know how successful they were, but judging by the library between the SMS and NES, they probably didn't get the audience they were looking for. But you should still grab one when getting a Master System. You're bound to find one game for it, just hope you have a CRT to go with the whole setup, otherwise getting the Light Phaser would be pointless. I also learned that the shape of the Light Phaser was inspired by the anime Zillion, which had Sega involvement in some capacity, but that doesn't make much sense when the show came out in 1987 and the Light Phaser in 86. So it has to be the other way around, right, Wikipedia? Got any fond memories with this controller/accessory? Tell me about it by leaving a comment. If you like what you see, be sure to leave a like. If you think others would like this, share the video around. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button pronto. This is BrianTheBlue, and I'll see you later.